Hello, Taurus. How are you? Welcome. I hope you're doing very, very well. Taurus, let's see how your energies will be for this upcoming lunation, which is precisely the full moon in the sign of Scorpio, your opposite but complementary sign. Let's see what the main trends will be, what it brings for you. This is a general reading and may not resonate with everyone. If it doesn't, simply ignore the message. But it applies to everyone who has Sun or Ascendant in the sign of Taurus. You can also look at your signs and horoscopes to get a much more personalized forecast. All right, let's channel a message for the sign of Taurus for this upcoming full moon, which will be happening in the sign of Scorpio this May 1st. Let's see. Taurus. Taurus, this starts with the Eight of Cups, the King of Cups, the Ace of Swords, the Ten of Wands. Attention, Taurus. You've made a decision here, and it's a decision. I'm feeling this like my peace is non-negotiable, right? It's very connected to your relationships, your bonds, especially relationships from your past. What I'm feeling is that this moon brings a turning point, especially in emotional matters, particularly in relationships. People who have already run their course in your life, people with whom you're no longer on the same wavelength. You say, I feel like this person is no longer interested in sharing anything. It could be friendships, attention, social circles. Thank you. We see you here taking a new direction, a new emotional path. Yes, there are bonds, emotional ties, people who are being left behind, but you're moving forward. You're living your life. Your focus is elsewhere. There's a path you've started down. I feel that the path you're starting down is about connecting with other people, because this isn't about being alone, but about connecting with those people. Where you feel supported, where you feel you can share points of view, where you feel there's communication, where communication flows, where you feel there's mutual interest, where you feel there are ideals, there are shared visions. You're going to be cutting off all kinds of illusory connections with all those people or relationships that aren't bringing anything positive to your life. It's like you don't think about it anymore, you just do it. Or people maybe with whom I feel you've been carrying a burden, because there's a theme here of having carried so much, with responsibility for the relationship, taking it on yourself, carrying other people's responsibilities, pleasing as well, saying, well, that's it. This is as far as I go. I'm not going to keep pleasing if I see there's no reciprocity. So I make the decision to keep moving forward, but I put an end to this situation. That's why I say here, I'm opening myself up. I'm open to meeting new people. People you can connect with on a deep level. But above all, I feel like there are mental bonds there, you know? We think very similarly in that sense. We have the same outlook on life. We also see life in very similar ways. You will realize which people give you peace, which people give you tranquility, where you can share your wisdom, where you feel comfortable, where you feel stable, where you feel light, where there is no weight. What you will be releasing are burdens. Relationships that may have demanded a lot from you just to keep them going. Let's see what else this lunation brings. Full moon in Scorpio, May 1st, it brings. Of 2026, what it brings for you, Taurus. Let's see. You have the Queen of Wands here. We have Temperance. We have the Six of Pentacles, Five of Swords. This is still very strong, isn't it? Because this moon, let's see, this moon is kind of coming to put you first, isn't it? With your sense of worthiness, with your personal power, with your presence, with your magnetism, with your energy. And from that place, cleanse. Cleanse your environment. Cleanse your relationships. Because this is part of a purification process. So the relationships that aren't in alignment, the relationships that are maybe broken, toxic relationships, relationships where a lot was being demanded of you, where they had other kinds of interests in connection with you, where there wasn't really an emotion, a real feeling. Those are the relationships that go through this filter, that go through this purge, because literally, this is a purge. Amen? Five of Swords. You can see there's some distance there, right? This is like, yeah, I've realized, I've become aware that we have different views on life. It's not about convincing anyone to follow you here. Instead, you'll know very well who you start connecting with now and who you don't as much anymore. The point here is also to notice the people who are approaching you at this moment. They can be connections. I feel like there are spiritual connections, healing connections, connections that empower you, people who come to help, people who offer you things. And I don't mean gifts themselves, rather, they extend their generosity to you. They listen to you. They give you advice. They give you a hand. But they're there. And that's where you're focusing, right? On reciprocity. But maybe from those people, those connections, right, with whom I feel like I'm clashing, I don't agree. I realize that they have a completely different outlook on life. It's no longer the outlook that you all have. It's not about getting into a confrontation with the other person here. It's more about making the decision to step aside. And I open up. I open myself up to these new people who are starting to come into your life, right? A very deep emotional change, right? That's affecting your relationships. Let's see what else we have. What is this full moon bringing? In the sign of Scorpio, what? On the 1st of May, for the sign of Taurus. You have the Hermit here. The King of Wands. The Three of Wands. Six of Cups. All right? Your past is being cleansed. There's no doubt about that. But you're starting to connect with different kinds of people. I've talked with you about these other gestures. Pay attention to those gestures of kindness, help, support, and protection. Who are you starting to feel comfortable with? Who are you starting to feel like, I feel at ease here? This connection feels natural with. The relationship is innocent. The relationship is that feeling of home. I feel like this lunation brings you a lot of information, a lot of wisdom. Many situations that have been in the shadows, that have been hidden, will be coming to light so that you become aware of this, but from a new place, from a new Taurus. From this Taurus, what comes through is a very powerful energy of authority as well, but of knowing where you stand and knowing what you deserve. I feel like they're also planning something new for the future.
Okay.
They might have some previews of what's coming up. They're getting ready for this. It's like a Taurus that's about to cross a threshold, to start entering a new stage, a new time. He already knows what he wants, what he'll tolerate, and what he won't anymore. You'll discover something soon. There's a lot of energy around what comes to light and is revealed, and it's closely related to relationships. Let's see what we have in the Egyptian oracle. Dear Taurus, for this upcoming full moon, thank you. Sign of Scorpio on May 1st. Advice. You have the prodigy here. This is card 26. This energy suggests that you need to rely on your subconscious. It's not really about logic. Pay attention to what your subconscious is going to show you, what it's going to tell you. The subconscious is that hidden, deep part of the mind. You might also receive a message or revelation in your dream. Sometimes it feels like I'm just talking to my pillow. An energy that brings an unexpected lesson. Those lessons and those learnings that fall as if by magic at just the right moment. But they leave a big mark. Dear Taurus, this is what we've seen for all of you in terms of overall energy available for this upcoming full moon in Scorpio. Having a wonderful lunar cycle. And I'll see you here next time.